2020 was a good year for Lakers fans. The team won the championship in the bubble. We had LeBron, Anthony Davis, and a really great supporting cast of guys, but that next year, they lost in the first round against the Suns. The Lakers haven't hoisted the Larry O'Brien since. They haven't even been past the Western Conference Finals. But that doesn't mean the Lakers haven't had some great players since. Here are my top 10 Lakers players over the past 5 seasons. I thought about starting at number 10 and then working our way down to number 1, but I think it's easier to rank the big name guys, the superstar guys. So we're going to go and start with number 1, LeBron James. As a Lakers player, LeBron has averaged 26.7, 8.1, 8 in 407 games. Not only has he been great, but he's exceeded expectations because of his longevity. His stats this season alone are nearly identical to those average stats I just mentioned. He's averaging 25 points, 8.5 assists, 8.2 rebounds in 58 games. I think only LeBron haters would argue against having him number 1 on this list. Number 2, Anthony Davis. All right, so maybe it wouldn't be that crazy to have AD at number 1, but I just wouldn't agree with it. He averaged 24.8, 11 rebounds, and 3.2 assists. He was a little bit less available than LeBron, but he still played a decent amount. We're always anticipating AD taking the torch from LeBron, but I don't think we ever really got to see that go down for the course of an entire season. He'll go down as the Lakers legend. The Lakers need to retire his jersey in the rafters, in my opinion, because he brought us that championship in 2020, and he helped keep the Lakers relevant for years to follow. He receives a bad rap because of his availability, and he was injured a lot, but compared to guys like Embiid, I don't even think it's fair to give him that reputation. All right, number 3 is kind of a weird one, but I honestly think we have to put Luka at number 3. He's played like 12, 13 games as a Laker, but as far as star talent, ability to change the game, like pedigree, he's got to be in the number 3 spot, I think. It's possible that years from now, he works his way up to the number 1 spot, but at the time of this recording, he's averaging 24, 8, and 8. It's pretty inefficient, but I think the Luka Doncic Lakers experience, it's just getting started. It's kind of unfair because later on in this list, I penalized guys for not having been a Laker for that long after the 2020 season. Putting Luka on this list at number 3, it kind of breaks the system. It breaks the strategy I was going for, but I just can't not put him at number 3. I feel like that's where he belongs, and I feel like going forward, he'll be number 3 and above. At the number 4 spot, we got Austin Reeves. He only averages 13.8, 4.2, and 3.7 as a Laker in his career, but each season he's been getting better and his minutes have been going up. He's averaging 18.8 this season, and he even had a 45-point game. He's a great scorer, shooter, playmaker, cutter, driver, and some would call him a free throw merchant. He's also been with the Lakers since the 2021-22 season, which I think has got to hold some weight against a guy like Alex Caruso, who after the 2020 championship only had 58 games as a Laker. Given this list is evaluating the top Lakers after the championship run, I think this is important to acknowledge, and I'm putting Austin Reeves at number 4. Okay, so this is where it really gets difficult, and I feel like a lot of my answers are going to be somewhat controversial, and I don't entirely agree with all of them. I'm always changing my opinion. This is just kind of where my head is at the moment. But at number 5, I'm going D'Angelo Russell. There are a few guys that could have been in this spot. D'Lo has a ton of weaknesses, most of which start at the defensive end. This next player behind him, I would argue, is a better player, but within the context of the last 5 years, D'Lo has been a better Laker. Last season, D'Lo made the most 3-pointers as a Laker in history. He single-handedly won us some games with his hot shooting. Again, he's not a perfect player, and I'm not even a huge fan of his, but his impact on the team puts him at the number 5 spot, in my opinion. He's a polarizing player, and I get that. And I get that we traded him, and I think we're a better team because of it, but he did contribute a lot to the team. He was very important for the team last season. In the regular season, statistically, he was probably the 3rd best player on the team. Number 6, Alex Caruso. Here's why Caruso isn't over D'Lo. After the 2020 championship season, he only had like 58 games as a Laker, and I can't have him as a top 5 Laker past the 2020 season with such a short remaining stint with the team. He became a free agent and joined the Bulls. The Lakers prioritized keeping Talen Horton-Tucker over him, and spoiler alert, THT is not on this list. Caruso's stats are not impressive. They really don't show you much because he impacted the game in a way that wouldn't really appear on the stat sheet. He's also probably the second best defensive Laker outside of Anthony Davis. Number 7, KCP. The 2020-21 Lakers team actually had a lot of the best guys, Alex Caruso, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They were just a team plagued with injury. KCP had a great 2020-21 season. Like Caruso, he's a great defender, but also had a nice jump shot. He was also a nice shooter for the team. Also like Caruso, he wasn't a Laker for that long after the 2020 bubble championship. I'm putting him on this list because of his strengths on both ends of the ball. A solid, reliable role player at the time. Number 8, Rui Hachimura. Rui has been on the Lakers for a little while now. To be honest, he is not my favorite Laker by any stretch of the imagination. I think sometimes he completely ignores the situation at hand. He ignores open teammates and just chucks up ugly, kind of flat, mid-range jump shot. But the numbers don't lie, and he's not bad at it. He's actually a great shooter. He's been an important piece on the Lakers offense, and he's an awesome three-point shooter. I really like him as a spot-up corner 3 guy. Not a great defender, but he's shown some promise when matched up against bigger center types like Jokic. Deep down, a part of me wanted to put Jared Vanderbilt above Rui Hachimura on the list, but because of Vanderbilt's injury stuff and his lack of offensive skill, I think this next spot, number 9, is fine for Jared Vanderbilt. He just brings a lot of energy to the team. He's a great defender, one of the best defenders in the league, in my opinion. Super underrated, like on the national media level, but I think Lakers fans know that Jared Vanderbilt just brings something really special to the team. I'm buying all of the Jared Vanderbilt stock. The number 10 spot could go a lot of ways, really. It could go Dennis Schroeder, Russell Westbrook, Kuzma, Malik Monk. Lonnie Walker had some special moments in the playoffs. I think I'm going to go Dorian Finney-Smith just because of his versatility on offense and defense, and he really hasn't had a long stint with the Lakers, but he's been really solid. Dorian Finney-Smith has been very positive for the team. I think he has one of the best plus-minuses amongst all current Lakers, and I anticipate he'll be with the team longer, and hopefully with the playoffs stretch here, he can cement himself as a true Laker. I'm going to go Dorian Finney-Smith at number 10. Probably the hardest player to rank amongst this whole list is Russell Westbrook because he was so hyped up at one moment and he was so seemingly important to the Lakers team. I just don't think it'd be right to go this whole video without mentioning him because he was such an important piece to the Lakers team, and if you look at the stats, he averaged 18, 7, and 7 in the 2021-22 season. But then also you look at his shooting percentages and it was pretty bad. A lot of Lakers fans, like myself, think that he was probably a net negative for the team. But statistically, you can't deny that he had a huge impact on the team. And he probably won the Lakers a handful of games. But it really kind of just all depends on how you view that Russell Westbrook experience, and I think most Lakers fans view it pretty negatively. Some of the rankings with the current Lakers guys like Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, Luka, Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe they're a little bit skewed because of recency bias, but I'm hoping that they could prove me right this season and going into the playoffs and really show that they are top 10 Lakers of the past 5 years.